From 1992 to 1996, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing experimented with a new way of printing currency in an effort to speed production. Typically, notes were printed by what is called Intaglio printing. This is done by feeding a pre-cut sheet of 32 notes into the printing machine where it is printed on 3 times. Once on each side for front and back, then a third time for seals, serial numbers, and plate numbers. This method produces about 8,000 sheets per hour, again with 32 notes per sheet. The experimental notes were printed with what is called a web press, which is very similar to the printing of newspapers, in which the printing machine is fed by a continuous paper roll with both sides being printed simultaneously. This method was able to produce around 10,000 sheets per 35 minutes, again at 32 notes per sheet. While this method was successful in speeding up production, it did have 2 major flaws. One, the printing machine proved to be very unreliable, and constant breakdowns impaired production. And secondly, the actual print on the notes was poor quality when compared to the standard Intaglio pre-cut sheet-fed method. Due to these issues, the experimental web press printing method was discontinued in July of 1996. Now, because there was a limited number of web notes printed, they are rare and hold a premium to collectors. Here you can see what some circulated web notes have recently sold for at online auction. So, how do you know if you have a web note? Well, web notes are only printed on $1 notes series 1988A, 1993, and 1995. And as shown with the red box in this picture, on a web note, the back plate number is next to trust on the reverse of the note, while the standard note has the back plate number in the lower right corner of the white space, as shown by the blue box. So there's a little information about web notes. We didn't know much about this until we did some research, so hopefully, like we did, you learned something. And hopefully you enjoyed this and it gives you something new to search for in your change.